54 of Showstoppers Toastmasters Club. Yeah, ma'am, can you share the presentation or should,
Will you be able to do it yourself?
Yeah, but can you give me the sharing rights?
I have given already. I have given multiple participants can share simultaneously.
Okay. So the mission of the club. The mission of a Toastmaster club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every individual member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. Some of the rules that need to be remembered some of the ground rules that need to be remembered during the Toastmasters meetings. Keep your eyes leveled at the level of the screen. Keep your phone on silent. Keep yourself on silent when you're not speaking. Appreciate everyone by clapping. Do not speak on sex, religion, and politics, and always smile. So what's so special about today? Well, today is the World Hindi Day. The World Hindi Day is a day celebrated every year on the January 10th in order to promote the language worldwide. It is celebrated by Indian embassies that are located all over the world. The day is being celebrated worldwide since 2006. Significance is that Hindi is the fifth largely spoken language around the world. Over to the president to take forward.
Good evening. It was your maiden attempt as the Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Deepansh, and I must say you did a splendid job. Congratulations. To each one of you, I extend my warm welcome to the Showstoppers Toastmasters. Our first meeting in the new year, 2022. I hope and pray this year gives each one of us good health, happiness, and success. I acknowledge the presence of a few guests here, and I'm glad to see them here this evening. Welcome to the Showstoppers. Maybe it sounds repetitive to the fellow Toastmasters, but for the benefit of the new ones, let me delve into the rigmarole of giving a broad perspective about the Toastmasters fraternity. Allow me to share my slides. Welcome. Next slide, please. Yes, so what is Toastmasters? Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. Who is the founder? Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. And the first meeting was held at the YMCA building on October 22, 1924. Almost magical 96 years. It is going good and strong. Yes, the next slide. And the values of the Toastmasters International helps you to rise. Now, what is this rise? It is respect, integrity, service, and excellence. Next slide, please. My daughter is helping me being the Zoom master today, and she's sharing the slides for me. So here, Toastmasters offers you nearly 11 pathways. Now, in this pathways, you can see that there are such lucrative pathways like dynamic leadership, effective coaching, engaging humor, innovative planning. All these are there. All these 11 pathways, you can choose your pathways from these. And it has projects in the form of prepared speeches to be attempted. And these speeches are validated and certified as you complete each level. These projects and pathways help you hone your latent skills and help you rise up in your personal as well as the professional life. Next slide, please. We, the Showstoppers Toastmasters, have our online presence on Facebook. You can give the search for the Showstoppers Toastmasters and we are there. So, next slide, please. So with this information and with the power vested in me as the president of the club, I declare the meeting number 54 open. Now, let me call upon and very enterprising and audacious Toastmaster, who is also the secretary of our club, Toastmaster Sri Devi, to read out the minutes of previous meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Sri Devi.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. This is the Club Secretary, Toastmaster Sri Devi, reading the minutes of the previous meeting, meeting number 53. The theme of the day was Revel and Reveal, held on Monday, 27th of December 2021. The meeting began at 7 p.m. Our very enthusiastic Sergeant at Arms for the day, Toastmaster David, commenced the meeting by reading the club mission, a Toastmaster's promise, and the online meeting etiquettes. The baton was then handed over to the club president, Toastmaster Amita. She described what is Toastmasters. She also emphasized the benefits of Toastmasters in the business world during her presidential address. Thus, she called the meeting to order. Then came the word of the day by Toastmaster Nishita. The word was revel, which means to enjoy oneself in a lively and noisy way. The virtual stage was then taken over by the TMOD Toastmaster Amita. She introduced the theme of the day, Revel and Reveal. Then the baton was handed over to Toastmaster Sri Devi, the club secretary, to read the minutes of previous meeting. This was followed by Revel and Reveal by members of Showstoppers Club. The podium was then handed over to DTM Hashim Halim, a magnetic personality who had been the DTAC 2021 champion. He made the table topics seem much easier to all of us. According to DTM Hashim, there are 3 T's in the table topics, namely trust, think, and talk. He explained the table topics judges' ballot. Then came a relay of table topics for the attendees. The virtual stage was then handed over to Toastmaster David for a book review of the book, The Dangerous Book of Heroes. Following this, the TMOD continued with the theme of the day. This was followed by the R-Counter report by Toastmaster Deepansh, following which the TMOD closed the meeting with vote of thanks. The meeting ended on time at 9 p.m. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sri Devi. Lovely minutes of meeting. Every time you read out, it's almost like us revisiting our previous meeting. Thank you so much. Now, dear friends, we are here to witness an exciting debate this evening. A debate is a formal argument between the two teams or individuals. One team will represent the affirmative side, and the other team is the opposition team, who will speak against the topic. The topic for the debate was given beforehand to the two teams to help them prepare. Now, let me share my slide to give you an idea of the debate in Toastmasters. Always, we have 2 or more teams. Well, today we have 2 teams. The affirmative team is from the Pioneers Speech Weavers Toastmasters Club, and the opposition team is the home team of the Showstoppers Toastmasters. Today, we will have a fun debate, and it is a fun topic. They are given a specific order to play their role. So as you see in the slide here, the opening speaker of the affirmative team will come first, then the opening speaker of the negative team, then the rebuttal speaker of the negative team, rebuttal speaker of the affirmative team comes next, and then the closing speaker of the negative team, opposition team that means, and then the closing speaker of the affirmative team. The timer is vigilant and keeps a tab over with them with the timer cards. The opening and the rebuttal speaker gets 3 minutes each with 10 seconds grace time, after which the Zoom master or the timer will mute the participant. The green card for the opening and the rebuttal speaker is displayed at 2 minutes. Amber or the yellow light goes on at 2.5 minutes, and red at 3 minutes. They are given 10 seconds of grace time, after which they will be muted. The summarizing speaker from both the teams get total of 2 minutes with grace time of 10 seconds, after which they will be muted. So the green card is displayed at 1 minute, amber or the yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes with grace of 10 seconds. Okay. Now the Zoom master, let me see the next slide. Yes, this is the rules of the game as I explained about the timing. And the Zoom master shall spotlight the speaker and the timer for everyone's convenience. Here, for the debate session in particular, I would request all the other members except the debate team members to switch off their cameras. Okay, so dear Toastmasters, help me welcome an enthusiast and diligent Toastmaster who is also the treasurer of the Showstoppers Club, and he essayed his maiden role as the Sergeant at Arms today, Toastmaster Deepansh, who is the timer for the debate section. After the debate is over, he will read out the time taken by each contestant. Also, let me call upon the virtual stage another Toastmaster whom I have never met in person, but I can speak about this person's passion and enthusiasm, which I have experienced over the few meetings he has been with us. Unless he has some other pre-scheduled work, he never shies away to grab the role offered to him. Help me welcome Toastmaster Aditya as the Zoom master for the debate section. So, and though it is a fun debate, but nothing goes unscrutinized in the Toastmasters, it is a place to make mistakes and learn the mistakes. And I always use this line: the session will be evaluated and the contestants will be given very constructive feedback by the evaluators. DTM Anita Naidu will be the evaluator for the affirmative team, the 4 team. And our immediate past president, Toastmaster Tina, will be the evaluator for the opposition team, the against team. So I know you all must be waiting to hear out the debate more than all these rules and regulations. So I better step aside and invite the participants to take the stage. Help me welcome the contestants of the team. The 4 team. Opening speaker is Toastmaster Roshan. Welcome. Rebuttal speaker is Toastmaster Siva. Welcome. And closing speaker is Toastmaster Roji Satish. Welcome. And the contestants for the against team are, the opening speaker is Toastmaster Sri Devi, rebuttal speaker Toastmaster David, and the closing speaker is Toastmaster Seema. So here, let's start. The topic given to them was cake is a better dessert than ice cream. So let's see. Now I would request all others to switch off their cameras except these 6 participants. And let me call
Amita,
upon the,
1 second.
yeah.
I hope Tina is clear. In the agenda, it is like I'll be doing the against and Tina would be doing the for.
Yeah, so I just wanted to reconfirm. I was just
Okay.
going to type in the message.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think we'll keep it as
messed
per
up.
the agenda.
Yes, I'm sorry for
I
this.
just
mess up.
referred.
Not a problem. Okay, yeah. Okay,
All
ma'am.
right.
Thanks.
Okay. So let me call upon the first speaker, the opening speaker for the 4th team, Toastmaster Roshan.
Universal truth is cake is taking the place of champions, being champions of sweetness and goodness when it comes to the desserts. Namaskar and good evening, Toastmasters, debate moderator, and my fellow debaters, co-debaters. Dessert. Me and I team, we are standing for the motion. Cake is a better dessert than the ice cream. Dessert is described in the Cambridge dictionary as a small sweet dish which is eaten at the end of a meal. And it originated from the word dessert of French. That means it clears the table, something to clear the table. Apt to its origin, it is clearing the aftertaste of a big meal which you had. Now the cake. Cake is a dessert which is rich and healthy, which is a mixture of your butter, carbohydrates, milk, and sugar, eggs, etc. And it is something which is boosting your energy. Over the years, the cake has been transformed from a simple flour cake to a multiple variety of fruit cakes and so on. And there are so many varieties of cakes suiting each age group. And in 2017, a study held by Harvard Public School said that a cake made of chocolates and wheat, it is around 16 to 17%, it is reducing the risk of arrhythmia of heart disease. So it is better than ice cream. And to add more about the cake has a very good shelf life where you can take it to the outdoors where you cannot, this ice cream you cannot take for outdoor picnics and beaches and parks, etc. Having said that, one more additional benefit of cake is not only benefit, the fact is every event, wherever anything we are celebrating, we celebrate cutting a cake. We never cut a ice cream, or we never use ice cream as a celebration, cake, because after the celebration we have it as a dessert. So having all these points in favor of the cake, I urge the House to pass on the motion that cake is a better dessert than a ice cream. And see, this I am holding all through the meeting, and it is still it is cake has not melted. Just imagine if it was ice cream, what would happen? Over to you, debate moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. Now let me call upon Toastmaster Sridevi.
My love for ice cream has emerged at an early age and has never left, says Ginger Rogers. Good evening, Toastmasters. Cake is a better dessert than ice cream. Me and my team strongly oppose the motion. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, an ice cream is a sweet food made of sugar, a flavor, and frozen milk. Also, dessert is a sweet food had at the end of the day. And a cake is a sweet food made of flour, eggs, sugar, and fat. Having defined the three terms ice cream, dessert, a cake, let me take you through the reasons that support my claim. First of all, the preparation of ice cream and a cake. Dear Toastmasters, those who had baked a cake are very familiar that baking a cake is a fuss. You first need to measure the ingredients very carefully. There are chances of the cake to get burned while baking. Also, you have to prepare a frosting for the cake. Whereas an ice cream is much simpler to make. With the basic ingredients ranging from exotic fruits to cookies and cream, you have all the freedom to include whatever ingredient you feel like in addition to the basic ingredients. According to an article in The Guardian, no ice cream machine, no problem. The English food writer Felicity Clark writes, you can prepare a very fine ice cream with the basic ingredients, a fork, and a freezer box, thus emphasizing the preparation of ice cream is much simpler. Ice cream is also loaded with a lot of vitamins. According to an article in parenting.firstcry.com, the research emphasizes that ice cream has lots of vitamins like vitamin D, vitamin A, calcium, phosphorus, and riboflavin, hence emphasizing the healthiness of ice cream. Moreover, there are a wide range of ice creams that are available, which include the bubblegum ice cream, rainbow ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream, cookies and cream, and so on. Thus, as I conclude, I would say that ice cream is a refreshing treat that can be had at any time and any season of the year. Me and my team oppose the motion, cake is a better dessert than ice cream.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sridevi. Now I call upon the rebuttal speaker of the opposition team, that is Toastmaster David. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah. Toastmaster Roshan began with a universal truth that cake is a champion of sweetness and goodness. I think I forgot, or I didn't get the memo. Where is it mentioned that? I thought it was chocolate, or I thought it was vanilla ice cream. I'm sorry, that's just the first thing. It's kind of funny when it says the universal truth, but the opposition doesn't even know it exists. Secondly, Toastmasters Roshan did say cakes are rich and healthy with carbs, boost energy. Were you not describing a healthy meal rather than a cake? Because when you say it's rich and healthy, I don't think anyone eats a cake to be healthy. Like, why would we do that? And boosting energy. No, it just makes you want to sit down and just drink coffee and sleep. That's what a cake does. And there are so many varieties. That's the same thing as an ice cream. But if not, ice cream has more variety than cake. Because to be honest, it's easier to make and easier to understand, like in the sense that how it is formed. Moving on, like I love the study Toastmaster Roshan brought up, the Harvard Public School in 2017. Chocolate and wheat reduces heart disease. Wow. I think then heart disease around the world should have been, sorted by now, because everyone loves chocolate and everyone loves wheat, and especially in a cake. That's amazing. Like big solutions, like scientists and doctors should be prescribing this. But I wonder why they're not prescribing that as the main cause to reduce heart disease. 17%, pretty good statistic. You can't transport ice cream in picnics or in outings. I think coolers are non-existent in this world, right? Like coolers do not exist. And those ice cream trucks are just, floating pieces of imagination. Like, I think it's a drawing people make. And we don't cut ice cream. Like, oh, that's a nice statement, Toastmaster Roshan. But I think Baskin Robbins, Cold Stone would beg to differ with their ice cream cakes. I think that's why it kind of exists. The purpose of ice cream cake, we can cut the cake, enjoy the cake, and that's why multi-billion-dollar corporations have them. And I love, like Toastmaster Roshan, I love the sample, the honey cake. But just a fun fact, that is one of the most richest and sweetest cakes across the cake spectrum, a Russian honey cake. And it kind of contradicts your points about it being healthy, about cake being healthy and reducing heart disease, chocolate and wheat, because one of the ingredients of a honey cake is wheat. So concluding with my rebuttal, I hand the stage back to the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster David. Now let me call upon the rebuttal speaker of the affirmative team, that is Toastmaster Siva.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Today, me and my team are firmly for the motion, cake is better dessert than an ice cream. To substantiate these facts, going with my opponent speaker, the definition they gave for an ice cream, it is an item made with sugar, frozen ice, and milk. After the definition, they keep on explaining it gives a lot of vitamins. I was so surprised. All these vitamins, how they are going to flow into our body just with sugar, frozen ice, and milk. They have given so many vitamins. But anyone, whoever is listening, they are very sure that these vitamins, of course, they don't pass on to our body just having this ice cream with 3 ingredients. Secondly, my worthy opponent started mentioning preparing a cake is a first, so much of difficulty. Instead of it, go for an ice cream, just mix that frozen ice, have some milk in it, put sugar in it. That simple it is, easy recipe. But here we are trying to find out which one is better dessert, right? In terms of nutrition, in terms of what they give to our body. That's what we are looking for here. So we would like to say to my worthy opponents, don't be lazy about taking some time, bake a cake. You can add eggs into it, you can add carrots into it, beetroots. All these nice ingredients can go into that. It's not a flavored one. It's a nice thing with all these ingredients, which will make you healthier, which gives you the energy of revitalizing yourself and your family and community. Thirdly, my worthy opponent mentioned ice creams. You can have anytime, any season, go for it. We would like to say, the FDA America, what they said is, be careful. There are 20% of this world population is suffering with sensitive teeth. If you give them ice cream, go for it anytime. Have it anytime, nicely enjoy. I'm sure their sensitive teeth will be badly damaged with your advice. They cannot have it anytime. FDA suggests that if you give ice creams to the people who are having sensitive teeth, they will badly damage their teeth and it will cause a lot of repercussions on their health. So don't go for ice cream. Instead, give them a piece of cake. It serves all the people. So with all these facts and figures, we would like to emphasize the fact that cake is definitely a better dessert compared to an ice cream. We request the House to support our motion, which is for the motion, cake is a better dessert than an ice cream. Over to you, debate moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Siva. Now it's time to call the closing speaker of the opposition team, that is Toastmaster Seema. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Cake is a better dessert than ice cream? No. We as a team strongly stand against the motion, cake is a better dessert than ice cream. As my opening speaker clearly stated, the meaning, the three definitions of ice cream, the cake, and dessert. And if you see, a cake is something which is very easily, we can make it at home. Ice cream is something that we can actually make it very easily at home with basic three ingredients, right? Milk, sugar, and any kind of fruit or flavors. But the hassle of making a cake, if you know, there are so many ingredients that is included in a cake. And in the end, to wash the dishes, it is so difficult. And ice creams can be actually made in a very healthy way compared to cakes. Cakes is loaded with more of sugar. And if you see, a cake itself has a sugar, and also the ganache is what, or the frosting is what actually attracts the cake more, and it makes the cake more interesting to be eaten, right? But ice cream is like, you just have sugar, the basic sugar, and that's it. There is no extra things that is added to make it unhealthy. And as my rebuttal speaker clearly ousted the opponent speaker, saying, in which way, how does a cake actually reduce heart diseases? It's not something that any one of us have actually heard it, right? If that's so, all the doctors would be actually prescribing, rather than having medicines, have a piece of cake. Second, variety of cakes, no way. I feel ice creams has better varieties of cakes, and it is also something that can actually be added to a smoothie, to any kind of dessert. In fact, on top of a cake itself, to make the cake, it can actually enhance the flavor of a cake. So we, as a team, strongly stands against the motion, cake is a better dessert than ice cream. And yes, I'm actually waiting to go and have my scoop of favorite ice cream, even on a cold winter evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Seema. Now it's time to call the closing speaker of the affirmative team, that is Toastmaster Roji Satish. Welcome. Over to you.
Ms. Roji, you're on mute. Okay, yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Good evening, debate moderator, my worthy opponents, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. My team and I stands for the motion. A cake is a better dessert than an ice cream. A dessert is like a feel-good song. The best one makes you dance. So without doubt, go for a cake. My opening speaker, without doubt, established with clear facts, logical arguments, and with conviction why we stand for this motion. My opening speaker defined the terms dessert and cake because it is pivotal in understanding this motion. He also stated how cakes serve as powerful energy boosters than ice creams. He also presented the plant-based cakes, which are suitable option for all age groups, outweighing ice creams. Moreover, he quoted the 2017 research study by the Harvard School of Thought, where including dark chocolates can considerably reduce the risk of arrhythmias by 17%. The example of a chocolate wheat cake substantiated our point. Further, a rebuttal speaker, he attacked the very definition of ice cream, bringing out the fallacy and irony of the ice cream as such and the nutritious aspect. By quoting the FDA America, he also brought about the health issues, knocking away all the claims put forward by our learned opponents. Moreover, being lazy is not a good sign. He talked about how revitalizing ourselves by adding a lot of few things. For all these reasons, we close our contentions and urge this House to accept the motion, cake is a better dessert than an ice cream. Fellow Toastmasters, whenever in doubt, grab a cake and make a healthy life. Over to you, the debate moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roji. So all the 6 speakers are done. Wow, what a debate. I love both the desserts. But after listening to this debate, surely it has given me ideas and points to throw at whoever asks me to give up either of the desserts. Yeah, I will shift sides according to my cravings. Jokes apart, let us get on to the business talk and call upon the evaluator for the affirmative team, that is Toastmaster Tina. And then she will hand over the stage to DTM Anita for the evaluation of the opposition team.
Ma'am, the timing.
Tina? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you please read out the timing. Sorry, Rupansh.
Yeah, Toastmaster Roshan, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Toastmaster Sridevi, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Toastmaster David, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Toastmaster Shiva, 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Toastmaster Seema, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Toastmaster Roji, 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
So all are qualified, right?
If I may just interrupt here, I think Dipansh, you should have muted them after 10 seconds grace. That's what a debate is.
Yeah, I wasn't able to mute them. I informed Ms. Amita.
No, I mean, anyways, there's nothing like qualification. They're supposed to be there talking for 10 seconds grace, after which they are muted. And that's how you cut down on their talking time. So, I mean, anyways, we'll just go ahead with the evaluation.
Okay.
So, yeah, Tina.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amita. Good evening, everyone. So I think when I saw the topic itself first, the thoughts actually went to my mind. I was trying to get the debate running in my head as to whether cake is a better dessert than ice cream. And I was just raring to hear as to how this group will convince me, whether they will convince me to go towards cake or towards ice cream. So first of all, Toastmaster Roshan, he started out with a dramatic flair with a plate of cake in his hand. And I think that kind of set the tone. Because he was already, setting the stage for, the fact that his team stands for the fact that cake is definitely hands down the better dessert. My only problem here was that I couldn't see the cake initially. I mean, he mentioned it and that's when I saw it. Either have a smaller plate or a bigger cake, or probably hold it a little, place your camera in such a way, because it's an online. online meeting. That's why, I mean, if it's in a physical meeting, of course, this will not be an issue. It's only because it's in an online meeting. Also, probably, I think it was hindering your, delivery of your speech. Also, the fact that, it was you having a plate of cake in your hand. It was a dramatic flair. Definitely, it added brownie points to your opening. But still, I felt it was kind of like a hindrance to this in your presentation. I think you started off. You gave the definition of the frozen dessert, that is ice cream, and also what dessert is. But you like what I saw in the other team is, I'm not mentioning it openly, but still, there was a definition of all the terms in the, the point that was mentioned. I think that would also add points for you if you defined exactly what each point is in that particular statement. You put out facts and figures from Harvard. I mean, it's amazing because this is a personal opinion. It's amazing that you were able to actually get out, Harvard study and, about the cake and ice cream and all, and you put that forward also to, augment your points. And you said that, it's used as a celebration. You added that point. You brought that vision into our head that, yes, when we have celebrations, cake is the first thing that comes to our mind. And then as you closed it, you immediately said, that, see, I'm holding this plate of cake. It has still not disappeared. I can still eat it without any issues, unlike probably a bowl of ice cream, which would have melted by now. Okay, so I think that was an excellent thing that you did. You presented your points also very well. You were able to, strengthen the fact that, your team's point that cake is a better dessert. I felt if this cake part of you holding a cake, if the closer did it, I think it would have rounded out better. Of course, you opened it exactly, but then it's the closing person that gives the lasting impression. So if that person had it, I think it would have made even more added flair or even more added picture or image in the person who is, listening to you. So overall, I think it was an excellent opening. You definitely presented everything, and also whatever you had, you also did. You could have mentioned that cake has a lot of other healthy options also. I mean, there are, and in today's age, there's so many things, like there are vegan cakes happening. There is, like when you talked about it being healthy option, you could have mentioned that out. When there's a vegan option, there's a lot of cakes that can be made without milk, even without, eggs also, cakes being, there are no bake cakes happening now where you don't have to use the oven also, which of course, I think that is something Toastmaster Shiva could have used to rebut Toastmaster Sridevi's point, wherein she said you have to bake and the cake could burn and all that. There's a lot of options of no bake cake where you don't need to bake and there's no fear of burning. And also, yes, I moved on to our rebuttal speaker, to Toastmaster Shiva. So you also, I think you took each points that Toastmaster Sridevi said, and each point you were like, okay, box it out. And I think that's an excellent way of rebutting. Each point you take it out from the opening speaker and then, try to rebut that and try to, convince us that, what they said is wrong and what we are saying is the, the righter or the more, the better option for us. So you started out, about the healthiness of ice cream, and you asked us, is it really healthy? And, I feel, a little bit of the way you say it, because it was very undertoned, because you're a rebuttal speaker. You're basically boxing out every idea that the opener of your other team has said. So a little bit of a snideness, of course. I know being really rude in a debate is not allowed. Being civil is needed. But, a little bit of snide remarks like, really, do you really feel that milk and sugar is going to be good for our body? Or is it going to be going to your hips and making you a little more obese? Or something like that. So that picture immediately comes to the audience as to, okay, fine, what they said is absolutely not acceptable. So, I mean, I think just the way the way you present yourself, the way you rebut it, you just add that on to the points that you added. And I think you can throw the ball out of the ballpark. I mean, you've already got the base done. It's only the way the presentation and the delivery that has to be worked on. You mentioned the FDA, you brought in a little bit of facts and figures and so forth, and that was excellent. So kudos to both the openers and the rebuttal speakers. Then over to our closing speaker, Toastmaster Roji. Oh, wow, your powerful voice. I think you could do a rebuttal because your voice is just like so powerful. The way you're, like so tenuous, such a tenuous speaker you are, so the way you presented yourself and the way you, started out with a quote and so forth. I just want to ask you, did actually Toastmaster Roshan talk about, the chocolate cake being whole wheat, and did he say it is a 2017 study of the Harvard? I don't know, did I miss hearing it, or because I don't remember him saying it? Because as a closing, I don't know if you should not add in points. I'm suppose you would have discussed with him earlier and you would already know the points what he's going to present. So, but did he actually do it? Did he actually present it today is what I want to know. I don't know if I missed it. If I missed it, I'm very sorry. Then, okay, you're right. Did he say?
He quoted the study. He quoted the study, said also about the disease.
Oh, no. Did he say it was a 2017 Harvard study? 2017 Harvard study, and did he say that it was a chocolate cake made of whole wheat? Because you mentioned that the Toastmaster Roshan said that. No, I'm not. I don't want to start a debate here, but the thing is, the closing speaker is basically wrapping the whole thing and giving it to the audience in a bow. So it's basically you're like just putting out all the points that your opener did, and your rebuttal speaker basically you're reminding them that, see, this is why cake is better than a dessert than this one, because my opening started off by saying this, my rebuttals rebutted the other openers by saying this, and then close it off. And then if you have that flair of that having that cake and not being melted, I mean, it would have made a vivid image in the person who's listening to it. And then the last image that they would have is, yes, cake is a better dessert than ice cream, because see, they have showed it to us and they have presented to us in a wonderfully wrapped platter. But otherwise, excellent. I think you did a very good job. Yes, I think you slightly convinced me to move from ice cream to cake, and I think I will go for the chocolate cake right now. So great work to the team. All the best to each and every one of you for your further presentations. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Anita, DT Anita.
Okay, yeah, that is a lot of cake and ice cream. See, the pity is, first thing, the biggest point to pity over here is that, timer, please time me because I might get lost in this now, is that we are in a virtual platform. Otherwise, we would have had Roshan's cake to eat, one. And probably, we would have actually cut a cake today and had not just a cake, not just an ice cream, but an ice cream cake from Baskin Robbins, right? And the other thing is, I just took this topic thinking that I will have something nice to hear about as the new year moved in. But then here also, goddamn man, you people brought in statistics and all that. And where did you go into? Like, you all went into talking about FDC and healthy dessert. And why should a dessert be healthy at all, for that matter? I mean, see, the thing is, both the teams, I mean, very convincing, very serious mode, and very committed drive there was. As Tina rightly said, there was a swing that was happening whether we should go this side or that side of that desert, which desert to choose. But then what didn't actually crack was, it's a fun topic. It's actually a fun topic. You all could have added a lot of fun to it by saying that dessert is something which you have when you have a craving, right? I mean, it's not like you want to become healthy so you have a dessert. So let me talk about my team, the team which has spoken against the motion, which is cake is a better dessert than ice cream, right? So when we talk about a better dessert than ice cream, we are trying to say that the ice cream is something which people enjoy more compared to the cake, right? So we had our second time attempting Toastmaster for the debate, Toastmaster Sridevi. Okay, Toastmaster Sridevi, a very good attempt. I enjoyed listening to your very well-researched, the way you went about. Now, you spoke about you started with the quote, okay, about how that person has expressed his love for ice cream every day, whoever that person was. Now, I just have to put in here immediately that a universal thing like an ice cream, you just cannot, mention about it. Um, just give me a second. Yeah, you cannot mention about it as stated by one person. Forget about that person. What is it to you is something important. We don't need an eyewitness or a statement made by somebody when it comes to food. Until and unless you're talking about something harmful in it. Yes, then you might want to talk about some verdicts. Yeah, moving on. Next thing that you said is baking a cake. That means you moved directly from talking about the taste of the cake. You didn't even get there, and you just went into the preparation part of it. I can understand, Sridevi, because you're the mom of 2 kids, and it's a lot of work for a woman. When we talk about dessert, when we talk dessert, whatever we say that, when we talk about that, or when we talk about any other thing, we always look at how much work do we have in it for us. I mean, for Roshan it's easy because it's why his wife is baking it for him, right? So it's still much more easier. So you went into the prep part of it, and you said that it's difficult, it's messy compared to so and so thing. Now, then you hit the nail on your own this thing by saying it is got just 3 ingredients. I mean, you should have said that an ice cream can be made, very, very tasty by adding in this, that, this. There's no limit to it, and you can just keep increasing the quality quotient of it by putting in fruits and mentioned Baskin Robbins. You could have brought in a picture of it and shown it to people. Then. Yeah, you did speak about vitamin A, D, and riboflavin by talking about. You could have easily said that the sugar part of it is ousted by the addition of cream and fruits, and unlike in a cake where it is all white, right? White eggs, white flour, white sugar, so on and so forth. So you could have just made it that way. Um, yes, there was a wee bit of stats in your thing, but I per se, Sridevi, it's a very easy topic from my perspective. You could have easily said that a dessert is a dessert. I mean, come on, you just want feel the pangs for it, and you just go out and have it. So you could have just talked about it by saying, for me, anytime an ice cream is a grab, go for thing. And you could have added more value by saying how a percentage of kids, say dessert is more to do with kids. So you could have always spoken about kids, which they would go in if you're talking about statistics over there, right? So and then I just saw that today you were not your confidence. In fact, when you were reading the MOM, you sounded much more confident than when you were doing this. So any particular reason? Maybe your children are jumping behind you or whatever, or holding something in their hand like last time debate time. Something went wrong.
They're running around, ma'am.
Yeah. So I could sense that you were stopping and talking. Yeah, just speak from your heart, dear, when it is an easy topic like this. Okay, and speak from your heart when I say that it's easier, and you can prove it within no time instead of picking stats from here and there. Yeah. Okay. So then we move on to David. David, rebuttal speaker. Yeah, David, first get that light in your room fixed, okay? I don't want to see so much of highlight on your face. You can see that in the pictures which I've taken today, the screenshots. Now, to get to your thing, you began without even wishing your opponent team. You should have just said a very good, tasty evening or whatever. Now and then you could have easily ousted by saying that that cake would have the cake which you are holding in your hand is something which you have bought from outside or thing like that. That look at this, I have a cake, I have an ice cream right in my fridge. You could have easily kept something which is a prop which is ready for, because props are taken here in this. I was expecting more props, in fact. And one more thing is, never start a rebuttal speech in the tone of only rebutting, only going against and hitting it hard. Talk in a tone which is very convincing also, not just mocking at a person or being cynical with that person. You have to be very pleasant, and you just have to take the flow along with the go, so when you spoke to Roshan, you said, my ardent opponent, always include him in your thing and say that cakes are rich, and you said, he said that it's rich in energy and carbohydrates and all that stuff. You should have had a stats in place. You had ample time. You should have had a stats in place on the internet saying that cakes, how rich they are, how much of sugars are there in it, whether that energy is actually counted towards increasing one's muscles or increasing one's diabetes quotient. Then heart disease, you just mocked at it. A stats would have helped. Okay, when you spoke about it, easy way to cut them is the stats. Rebuttal speaker, because they've used stats, you better use one. Cannot transport ice creams, that was good, the cooler part of which you talked about. But then again, when you were moving out, the motion was not stated. So that's something which you need to work on. Yeah. So be very clear when you're doing, it's not just attacking the person. You have to have the presence of mind that it is a debate and you're talking on behalf of your team, right? Then we move on to Seema. Seema, good job done. Everything about it, the way you went about speaking about, where are you? Where is Seema? Yeah, okay. Yeah, the way you spoke about your opening speaker, you included the points of your rebuttal speaker. But there's one thing where you just said I. Okay, you have to speak on behalf of your rebuttal speaker. You said the varieties of ice cream. I feel that, there are very many even in this. Don't agree to other person, okay? And then say, even in this it is there. No, you always have to say, this is more easier. Yes, Deepansh, I'm getting there. So never talk on behalf of you if you're repeating your rebuttal speaker's point. And when you want to put in your point, that last point which you did, that's fantastic. Okay, or having one in your hand, as Tina suggested, always the closing speaker makes a greater impact. So the props should be with the closing speaker. Mostly we think on those lines. Okay, so that's about it. I think good job done for a second attempt or a maiden attempt by the Showstoppers and some of the, of course, the veterans and pioneers. So good luck to each of you, and over to you, Toastmaster Amita. Sorry, Deepansh, for the exceeded time.
Thank you, DTM Anita and Toastmaster Tina, for giving such an insightful, invigorating feedback, by which I'm sure not only the contestants, but each one of us here has some or the other takeaway. Now that the debate and its evaluation is done, let us segue into the mock table topic contest section, for which Toastmaster Aditya will be the timer and DTM Anita will be the Zoom master. I will call upon Toastmaster Tina to the honor of announcing the topic after all the participants are put in the waiting room by DTM Anita.
Tina, would you want to give them the procedure in which it is done, because some of them are relatively...
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, are they aware as to how the process is done?
Yeah. You can do it.
Okay, so good evening once again to everyone. For the uninitiated as to how the table topics contest happens is basically, it's one topic for everyone. Okay, so all of you will be put away in a breakout room except the first speaker. So once everyone is in the breakout room and to start, the topic will be first read out to the first participant. And the way it will be read is the name of the participant, the topic, and name of the participant. Please note the in a contest, the I don't know why words are not coming out. The topic will not be repeated. So you have to pay close attention when the topic is being said, is be repeated twice. So make sure you're listening to it. And also, word of advice, don't immediately blurt out the first thought. Take a few seconds. You're definitely allowed that. Take a few seconds to just, get the breath, think about the topic, and then start speaking. The timing, Toastmaster Aditya, can you just help me? What is the timing for the table topics?
For 1 minute, I show the green card, 1 minute 30 seconds yellow, and 2 minutes red, and each participant get 30 seconds grace.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditya. So Toastmaster Aditya will be pinned for the timing. So make sure that you time yourself very well. So if there's nothing else, I think we can move out everyone into the breakout room.
Is everyone game? I mean, except me
Yeah.
and Tina and Aditya, I think all should go, even the newbies and guests and
Yes.
pioneers. They're fine? Yep. Okay, great. Let's assign them. Edit, Dipash, Nishita, Roshan, Seema, Kasha. Okay.
Who will go first?
Yeah, we should have taken a lot, right? How do you go about alphabetically or?
I think alphabetically, let's do it.
Yeah, just take a call, Tina. Okay. Roshan, you have to join. Roshni also.
Okay.
Amita, would you want to be with the contestants? Maybe you
No.
can send them. No,
Okay.
okay, don't
No,
participate.
you can send the speakers in
All
according
right.
to the
Okay.
alphabetically.
Okay.
Alphabetically, you can send them in.
All right. Okay.
So I'll just assign.
Immediately you're saying no, I will not participate. yeah.
Since yesterday she's after us.
I have been telling Anita since yesterday.
I can't see you. Can you move on your own? Just see Amita. No?
How do I do that?
Breakout rooms will be there, no? In a list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
so you
there.
just join. You can join.
If you go to the breakout room, you are the host.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Just
I see the join there. I'll join there.
send one contestant first with the names.
Even if it is not in the alphabetical order, maybe it will be difficult. I'll just send.
No, that's up to you. That's up to you. You send them.
All right.
Okay. Were you able to join? She's able to join?
Yeah. She went.
Aditya? 1, 1.5, 2, and 30 seconds grace. Okay. And time disqualification. That's all. Nothing else. Okay. Sure. We are still evaluating, Tina. You will be taking. How did I break it?
No, you're doing it, no?
First 3 speakers I'm doing. Next 3 speakers you will be doing it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many are there though. 12 of them. So 6 and 6. Okay. I should have sent. I think I only will move them out.
Maybe Amita is having difficulty moving them. Is that it?
Yeah, but probably I called in David. Okay, I'll join and come back.
Okay.
I can't make you a host. Co-host. Aditya, you're a co-host.
Yes, I'm a co-host.
Okay, I'll just go there and come back. Join this.
Okay, Toastmaster Roshan's come.
Oh, it's Toastmaster Roshan and me.
No, I think DTM Anita, before she left, I think she pulled you out.
She took me in, and then like Toastmaster Roshan also came. So
How will go back to the breakout room?
Is there an option to join back?
I don't know. From
Your
this
screen?
room, somebody can kick me out.
Yeah, I don't have the option. Probably, do you have Toastmaster Aditya? I don't have that option since I'm not.
We have to go to the breakout room. All the Zoom people are in the breakout room, I think.
Even I can't see the option.
Wait, Toastmaster Roshan.
I'm moving David back.
Oh no! Bye bye.
David, can you
Join?
join? Can you join? I mean, are you able to see? Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Okay, so
Let's begin. Just begin.
okay, so you're leading the way. You're leading the way, David.
Yay! Let's go. Tabletop.
Okay, fine. Toastmaster David. The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Toastmaster David.
The early bird gets the worm. What a statement. Well, it also can be interpreted as if you wake up early, you get the task, you get the job done, you get the benefits, or you get food in that sense, because worm can be signified as food. I am a firm believer of that. I do realize if you do wake up early and you can experience the betterment of life, the joys of life, you could say, the delicacies, because who knows? A bird loves a worm. But then again, who am I to say that that is a delicacy? That can be a regular meal. But what is a delicacy for a bird? I'm not really sure. I don't think it's a worm. Well, if I'm classifying myself as a worm, not so much. However, as I did say, I'm a firm believer, but I am also one who is a bit of a hypocrite. I do realize, waking up late is also quite good. The worm probably woke up early, and then what did he get? He got eaten up by the bird. That's kind of trash. It's kind of sad. So maybe sometimes if I wake up late, I won't be in the worm situation. And I can, also survive and live another day. Not to sound so gloomy and doomy. I think doomy is not a word as yet. Gloom and doom. Let's say, people, wake up at your own convenience if you're not meeting someone. If you're in a meeting, you need to be there at some time, wake up early. You can, save the hassle of thinking of excuse. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster David. Okay, let's go for the next.
Wow, Toastmaster Anita just dipped. Damn.
I think she went to pull out the next person.
I don't think you need to do that. You can just request the person to come out.
She did, but no one came. So she's gone to physically pull them out by ear.
Welcome, Deepansh. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome, Toastmaster Deepansh. Ready?
Yes.
Toastmaster Deepansh. The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Toastmaster Dipansh.
Well, it's a very nice topic, and I'm excited to talk about it because me myself, I wake up really early in the morning. I wake up at 5:30, and you know when you wake up this early in the morning, you feel a sense of achievement because waking up itself early in the morning and not snoozing your alarms is one of the best things. So I wake up, then I do my bed, and I straight away go out for cycling. Currently, the weather is so good. That's another way of me looking at it. Like I'm getting fresh oxygen early in the morning where I'm in the office throughout the day. And you know when you wake up early, you know how you need to you know how you need to plan your day ahead. No matter what you do, like if you're meditating, then that if you're journaling or if you're exercising, since you're alone at that time, you're thinking about what you're going to do ahead, what's next in that manner, and it feels really good because you know once you have that endorphins and adrenaline in the morning due to your workout, after that you're all focused and it's like you're just putting tick marks over whatever you have to do next. And by the time it's like 9 o'clock, 10, 9, 9:30, 10, you're like, okay, now I'm satisfied with the day. I've got all that I had to achieve, and I can sleep peacefully. So yeah, I agree with the term that early morning bird gets the worm. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dipansh. Is it Roshni who's next? Toastmaster Roshni, she is here in the room.
She's already there, is it? Okay. Yeah.
Toastmaster Roshni, are you there?
Miss, she did mention in that breakout room that she's not participating, like she's a bit busy, so she'll just be the audience, I guess.
Okay. So then we'll call someone else.
Yay. Dipansh, where do you cycle, by the way?
I live in Jumeirah Islands, right? So do you know where Meadows is? Meadows,
Yeah.
Jumeirah Islands. Yeah, so I live in Jumeirah Islands. So one round around the entire Jumeirah Island colony is 7 kilometers. Now, if you're doing like two or three rounds, it's like 21 kilometers.
Damn.
So, yeah.
That's nice. Damn nice waking up at 5:30, bro. Okay,
But I don't cycle at 5:30. I cycle at like 6:30.
No problem, bro.
Okay. Toastmaster Roshan,
Yes,
you ready?
I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible. We've spotlighted you. Okay. Toastmaster Roshan, the early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Toastmaster Roshan.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Good evening, Showstoppers and Pioneers. The early bird gets the worm. That means what I understand from this is it is like first come first serve, something like that. As I am assuming, most of the time it happens that once who reach first, or one who happens to be first for something, to avail something or to get something, they'll be lucky. But I think it is not always true. Sometimes you should be on time. Many a times we miss opportunities even for being before time or being after time. You should go with the time. This is what I am thinking. As in Hindi, today is a Hindi day. As in Hindi, they say वक्त के साथ चलो, ना पहले ना बाद में. So I am thinking, I assume what I understood right from the topic, early bird may not get the worms at all. Worms will be under the earth down, and after the bird flies, maybe sometimes the worms pop out. That's what is my opinion about this topic. Over to you, moderator.
Now, thank you so much, Toastmaster Roshan. Ooh.
Deepansh, are you in CS professional? CA professional? I mean, your voice is you're on mute.
That's my brother, my younger brother. He's a CA. He's pursuing CA.
Okay,
His exams are in May.
guys, Alvin is here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Alvin, are you ready?
I'll give it a shot, yes.
Okay. So I'll give the name, the topic, and the name. So it will not be repeated. So do pay attention. Toastmaster Alvin, the early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Toastmaster Alvin.
So the statement is very true that the early bird gets worm. We see it in all aspects. Am I audible? Yes. So we see it in all aspects. Let's say right from a game of cricket to all aspects of work, and especially if you're coming in from sales has a background, what you can clearly and always see is it's always the first mover's advantage, or the early bird over there always is the one who's getting the advantage and getting the worm, right? So if you're first in sales, your product is first in the market, you've got the advantage of getting in and getting things done without having to face so much of competition. So that you're talking about additional margins, you're talking about a coverage of an additional market or a larger sized market. So you can see it in all aspects. Let's move to sports. When you're talking about sports, early morning advantage, where you see the ball is swinging a lot more, it helps you get those early wickets. So in all aspects of work, be it sports, be it in your day-to-day work, you can clearly see that the early bird clearly gets the worm. I still have time? Okay. So that's one thing. Let me summarize on the other topics. On the lighter side, if you have an option of quoting someone, the first person that you are making an impression, you still stand a better chance of getting the better person, because you have a better chance. Because you're the first one who's quoting and who's making an advantage. So that on the lighter side as well. So on all aspects of life, the early bird gets a worm.
Thank you so much, Alvin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next person. Oh. Toastmaster Roji?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes. Who's the timer now? Yeah, I can see the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Toastmaster Roji, the early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Toastmaster Roji.
Well, the early bird gets the worm. When I take 10 years back, 10 to 11 years back, I suppose, I came to Dubai and my daughter, we were looking for admission of our daughter for our own high school. As we went there were 36 participants, candidates in front of our line. And I was wondering whether we would get it. And then we just checked in. They said they were rejecting the people, whoever came after that. But then they said one more person can get into the row. And that's how me and my family got into the row. We thought we were late, but we were early to become the 37th in that row and getting an admission for my child. And now she has passed out of the school. There are many instances where I can quote, going early, for example, going for the cinemas and getting a ticket for those shows which are running so successfully, and there would be a lot of crowd there. So that is one instance where I could quote of going as an early bird. And also when it comes to sale in shops, I also go to get a better discount. So these are few instances which would always boost me up. Whenever an offer comes up, I always see that I come into the first row of these early birds. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ruji. Okay, Utkarsha. Yeah, you're muted. Yeah, you ready?
Yes.
Good to go? Okay. Toastmaster Utkarsha. The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Toastmaster Utkarsha.
May I begin?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. The topic says early bird gets the worm. The famous idiom that early to bed, early to rise is healthy, wealthy, and wise is similar to this. So if someone gets up early, then gets more opportunity and is able to do more work in the given time period. Here the bird can be defined as a human or as a bird as well, wherein when the bird whoever reaches on time, whoever is early, gets the most out of the opportunity. We can also say that punctuality is very important, and the person who comes on time, who arrives on time, gets the most out of any opportunity. Has the time over?
No, you still have a time.
Okay. So I would, in the end, I would like to say that one must be punctual if one has to grab some certain opportunity.
Great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Utkarsha.
Thank you.
Who's next? Is it Seema?
Sridevi is here.
Devi is also here. Okay.
Sridevi only is here. I think Sridevi came in a little early. Yeah, Seema is also here.
Seema is also here.
It's actually Nishita who's supposed to come. We've just come as an audience.
Can we?
Okay. Okay.
You're
So
not
Sridevi and Seema is not attempting.
Is it so?
Is that it?
Me
Is that
too.
it?
I am also an audience. I was
Okay.
helping.
Okay. Toastmaster
I'm
Shiva is
also
also
there.
there.
Okay.
Okay. So then let's call Nishchita then.
Guys, you all should have participated.
Yeah. You give me a topic, I will participate. One of you give me a topic.
True, that's what. I think they should try. Maybe this next set. Tina, from here you have to evaluate.
Okay. It has Nishchita come? No.
Ask them to attempt Sridevi and all. I'll just call Nishchita and come. Sridevi?
Sridevi,
Go ahead,
attempt?
Okay.
Sheri. Go, you palle chop.
Tina, give her.
Sridevi? Okay, come.
Yes, Doctor.
Toastmaster Sridevi. The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Toastmaster Sridevi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. Yes, indeed, the early bird gets the worm. Time is a very crucial component when it comes to life at different stages. As a student, it's always important to be there in the school at the right time. When we were kids, we had strict rules in our school, and anyone who comes late was indeed punished. Punctuality matters everywhere. As we grew up and entered the college, the time that we enter the college was equally important. And the time we finish the exam papers and submit them on time, all these would matter, including the submissions of practical records. As we become adults and enter our workplace, the time we reach our office or the time as a homemaker, I would say that time was always important to me. Getting things ready on time, whether it be the food for all the members of the family or getting the kids ready on time for school. Time has always been a very important part of my life. So I believe punctuality is very important for each and every person. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sridevi. Next, is it Nishchita?
Yeah, she'll send her.
Toastmaster Nishchita, ready? Don't see you. Okay, here. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, Toastmaster Nishchita. The early bird gets the worm. The early bird gets the worm. Toastmaster Nishchita.
What I can say about this is
Is it the people who get up early morning, they get the long day for them to work, they'll have lots of things to do. If people get up, people get up late, like if they get up at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, the half of the 3/4 of the day they would have sleeping, just lying down on the bed. If they try to get up early, they can do some activities, they can spend time with the family. They've got the weekends, especially the weekends will be a long weekend, or even in the office, if they're going to work, if they get up, they can start the work soon, they can finish off the work soon, then they'll have a long evening for them to spend with the family. They can go for their exercise, walking. Thank you. That's all I can think about it now.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nishita. Is that it? Are we done?
Yeah, I guess so. Amita, would you want to try? Anybody wants to try after knowing the question paper?
Or does the participants want to give us a topic so we'll speak?
Yeah, maybe. Why not? Amita, give us topic. Maybe Seema and Tina can try. Shiva, I don't know why Shiva and all are not trying. Give any topic.
Give a relatable topic to each other, I think.
Yeah, just go
Aditya
ahead.
also can participate.
Yeah, so Amita, give a topic. I'll evaluate.
Okay, and the something which Tina was discussing. You like sunrise more or the sunset, and why?
To whom was that question? You didn't say that.
Toastmaster Aditya.
Can you please repeat the question once again, please?
Sunsets or sunrise? Which do you prefer? Why?
Dipansh, can you be the timer, please? Wait, Aditya. 1 to 2 minutes, okay?
Make the topic a statement.
What do you prefer, sunsets or sunrise, and why?
Can I start?
Timer, are you ready? Okay, start.
Okay. I prefer sunrise because, as my name says, Aditya, it's a Surya. I prefer sunrise because, that light which makes me so energized, and morning times, there is a way, there is a feel, and we will be motivated to do a lot of things, and whatever we wish to do, and especially in the fresh time, we don't have any disturbances, and we walk, we jog, and we exercise, and we do all other things simultaneously. Even I like sunset also, because at the night times it will be very silent. The in the silence I prefer, there is a power in silence. I just I experienced it. Even a lot of times when I used to study at night, after sunset, what happened to me is I can able to concentrate very well rather than in the morning times. I prefer during sunset, because there will be no disturbances. There will be full of silence. We can do other extra activities, and during the study time we can be able to study more productive. No, I prefer sunrise as well as the sunset also, but more I just prefer sunrise. Thank you, and over to you.
Okay, who else is left? Seema? Seema, can you give a topic to Tina?
Yeah, tell me, sorry. Yeah. Tell me.
Give a topic to Tina.
Oh, you want me to give a topic?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Have to give me a minute then. Countryside or city life? What would you prefer? Countryside or city life? What would you prefer?
Good evening, dear Toastmasters. What would I prefer, the countryside or the city side? Well, this question is actually two sides of the same coin, because I can divide my life. Like when I was younger, I definitely prefer the city life. I mean, the discos, the dancing, the pubs, and going out every night with our friends, making sure we're having, trying out new cuisines, trying out the new, highlight spots, and just experiencing life in whole during my younger ages, or, pre-marriage probably. But as I grow older, as I get, closer to probably my parents' ages, or maybe because I'm spending so much more time with my children, I find that I want to get closer to the countryside. I want to get closer to nature. I find myself gardening more often, planting more trees, more plants, maybe herbs and so forth, and just trying to spend more of that peaceful time in my garden, and also, trying to equate with how my mother also likes to spend time in her garden. I don't know, probably as I age, I'm becoming more and more like my mother, is what I would like to say here. But yes, it's like the two sides of the coins. I have experienced the city life. I loved it at that point of time. But at this stage in my life, I want to step out of that, and I want to experience the countryside also. So as a person, I think we must experience each and every aspect so that we know what suits us best. So at this point of time, yes, the countryside suits me more. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tina. I'll call upon Toastmaster Siva, and I'll give him a topic. Toastmaster Siva.
I am done.
What gets you excited about life? What gets you excited about life, Toastmaster Siva?
What gets me excited about life is, there are many factors, of course, but the main motive for me is making money. Because money is the main criteria, because otherwise I don't have to work in the office. I can sleep, because especially it is now winter season. The morning time waking up is so hard. My wife just pulls out the blanket. You have to go to the office, there are meetings. Of course, if money is not there, if I have enough money, I just don't have to work upon anything. Money is the main motivator for me. And also, why money is more motivator for me is, if I have enough money, I can also contribute and help other people who are in need. Especially, I can also take care of my wife, who has been prolonging me, asking for that uncut diamond necklace that she has seen in Jewelcas. I think that I can contribute if I have enough money. But of course, I can't do it in a single way. I have to have more money. And if I have more money, my sister, there are many people who are in need. I can contribute to them after taking care of my own family. So if one asks me what is the main motivation for you, I would say money is the first motivator for me. Then secondarily, other things comes into place. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Siva. You can give a topic to Toastmaster Tina.
Again?
Have you done?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
So
sorry. Okay, give a topic to Anita.
I'm fine. No, I'm fine. We are running short of time.
Yeah, I think we can.
All right. So let us wind up now. So here now we can call upon
DJ Manita for the evaluation.
Yeah, she'll give. You can call you can give the evaluation and feedback.
Okay, guys, that was quite a row of people. Line of people, yeah. The early bird catches the worm. That was the topic which Tina had announced for the first round. Now we started with David. David, are you there? Yeah. David, get the light in your room fixed. The light should not be coming from bottom, okay? It should be somewhere from the side or front. Now, you began by saying, one second. Did he start with you? Yeah, sorry.
Yes, miss.
Yes,
You wake up
yes.
early. I actually like the way David put his table topic. Maybe Tina was there, so she might agree with me or disagree. He kind of said, who am I to say that the worm is the best food for the bird and stuff like that. So he did bring in, I think, of the set of people that I've listened to, there's some humor that I found in David's speech, which I was looking forward to, because when you have a line of speakers coming up, the only speakers who will be remembered by the judges are the ones who cast a joke. Okay, something different that has to be there, which keeps moving in their ringing in their mind. Otherwise, it kind of gets lost in the this thing. So he talked about the both sides of the coin. He said that waking up is interesting early in the morning, but then he loves to wake. He on his own, he's not a person who gets up early, and he likes doing that, and he's happy with it because he says there's nothing for him waiting, so he just can afford to do that. But he says yes, if you have a meeting or if you have something which is the drive force for you to wake up early or be there much before time, then yes, you need to be going in for it. David, one thing here I would like to say, talking to yourself in here, like when you talked about gloom and doom, it's interesting when we listen to speakers, kind of making an impact with their English. But if it's not adding any emphasis or value to your topic, don't waste time. I'd rather have some more points to reinforce what you're talking about. You did have a lot, but once again, there was you didn't end it the way a table topic speaker should be ending it. Some kind of a strength or an emphasis on what you believe in. So it's good for people to talk about the both. I mean, both sides of the coin, but always remember to tell us what you believe in. Don't leave us sailing in. So ultimately there has to be a decision, so work on the decision point of it. Otherwise, I really loved it. It was very interesting and entertaining. Then we move on to Deepansh. Deepansh, I loved your speech. Where are you? Yeah, I loved your speech. In the sense, you did have a lot of points to, fortify whatever you were saying. You said that I'm a person who's an early riser. I believe in it, and these are the benefits of it. Just one thing, state that these are the benefits when you're talking about it, rather than just going directly into talking about when you get up early, this. You can always start off by saying, tell the world what you believe in. Always that affirmation is needed. If you see the judges ballot sheet, which I had posted some time back, it clearly says the effectiveness. Okay, so effectiveness, you have to say, why do you think I believe in this? It's because these are the benefits, these are the goodie points. Okay, so then when you talk about it, it adds more value to it. So bifurcate it, organize your speech whenever you're talking to create an impact on the audience. So you did have, you talked about how you feel about it, and try to be first person kind. You always say, I feel so good the way when I get up in the morning, I feel like this. You did start off, but try to add more and more of it. You had very many valid points about endorphins, and which actually tend to make you more focused. And yeah, one thing I wanted you to go on and on, because you just stopped abruptly at yellow. See, red, and then you have a 30 seconds grace. So make use of it completely. After red, you can stop. Aram se you can stop after red. So use it and repeat the motion. Like I said, told David, reinforce. Tell the statement and what you believe in. That's important. Roshan, I like the twist. Okay, normally people start off by early bird, we wake up early. But I understood that you didn't get the idiom well, so you kind of used your brain and used English grammar and started to frame stitch in words, which was a wonderful job done by you there. You said that you started to talk about time. Okay, which also makes sense. There's no hard and fast rule. Nobody needs to abide or adhere to what people universally feel about an idiom. You can always give it your own meaning. So you went about talking. There was so much of depth when you started saying that maybe if you don't arrive on time, the worms are not out still for you to prey on. You could have continued. You could have taken it further, and somewhere you seemed lost, or you thought, I'm not doing the right thing. Some hitch you had. So that's something which you can just forget and just go on. Just believe in what you're talking, and the world will believe with you, right? So good job there. Even if you didn't know the meaning of it, you went ahead and gave it your own twist. Okay, Alvin, first time, made an attempt, wonderful. I like the way your voice is very clear, your diction is so clear. You believed in what you were talking. That's something which is very interesting. Uh, you just gave it different aspects. You talked about, you just said that it's universal, universally accepted that in every aspect of life we have to be early, and you talked about sales and all. What I say is, because you are in the sales field, as I understand from your speech, it would have been nice if you would have given us a quick incident wherein you went in early, or you caught the worm early, and now how emphatic it was to be there on time. Okay, some statements. The table topics always looks into your life history. You could just look into, dig in some incident from your life where you saw something happening, and that could be related here to add more impact on the audience. So instead of just vaguely saying that cricket also you see this also you see this, you could just come up with some incident in your life and spoken about. Because you're spotlighted, I have to look to one side because your video is here. I can't move your to put it in the center. So yeah, so that's about it. You had quite a few points. Make it more concrete by making it a little more specific, okay, related to an incident, something which happened in your life. But otherwise, you had great confidence for a first time attempt, and you wanted to talk. There's no stopping. So that's a very well attempted speech, a tabletop impromptu speech, I should say. Roji was the next one to come in. Roji, are you there? Yep. Nice, Roji. I like the way you said you started with a personal anecdote of yours. I liked it. You just went back and you talked about 10 years back. You made me also feel nostalgic. And though I was not the person who went and stood in the queue to pick up the admission for my child, it was my husband. And but then yeah, he did describe it to me, and I know what it feels to be there. Yes, you always know that there are certain places where there is no compromise. You have to be the early bird. So probably you could just talk about. When you spoke about it, uh, you could have said that you could have reiterated the motion or the topic by saying, "Wow, to me, definitely, certainly, this statement holds good. What an achievement to in Dubai to get an admission." So you just have to show the audience that this is it, that is why I believe in this. And then we talked about sale. You talked about the discount part of it. When you go early, the discount is still the same, but the clothes are not available. So you need to say, if it's a Black Friday and all that, you need to be there on time, because otherwise I don't get my size. Okay, so I have to be. So that is the little twist you could have talked about. And you also ended early. So I think, guys, you need to work towards work towards reaching red, at least reaching red. Okay, but otherwise, good job, very good job done there. Utkarsha, I like the way you started off. You took your time. You didn't hurry up. You looked, very poised, and you didn't want to hurry up into making a sudden decision about it. And yes, you started with another idiom, which is very concurrent with what was given to you as a topic. And then you talked about time as a subject. That's something very nice. Just like Roshan, you also took time as a very important thing and gave it more and more emphasis. So I think for a maiden attempt, excellent job. You just need to know how to organize the structure of your speech to continue speaking. Then it becomes easy. To all, one single advice: all you need to do is work on all your anecdotes in life. Just those bundle of anecdotes, have them, always reiterate them, go down the memory lane, just try to pull in all those things. It could be funny, it could be just nonsensical, but it adds a lot of value when judges are listening to you, because you are a live testimonial of your own life instance, right? So we don't need verdicts for that. Now we move to Aditya. Aditya, okay, it was a different topic, sunset or sunrise. Okay, for quite some time, where are you, Aditya? Yeah, yeah, for quite some time. I like the status that you put in your WhatsApp. He just talks about something which I don't know if his father is looking into it or not. But then, yeah, sunset or sunrise, you did have a lot to talk about sunset. You supported sunset, and you said that sunlight, sunrise you supported. And then when you went into sunset, you said that that's the calm time. And you talked about the powering silence to study helps during sunset. But I think during the sunrise also it's the same thing. So you could always talked about meditation time, like Dipansha had mentioned, is the time when this the early hours, the Brahma Muhurtam, which we talk. You could have just made that as your subject because you finally said that sunrise is what you believe in. So you could have added more goodie points to your sunrise and given one or two points about sunset, but very well organized, I should say, because you addressed sunrise first and then you moved into sunset. So I think excellent work. Just try to give more points to what you believe in. That's it. So that was a good job there. Tina, yeah, Tina, I think you very ideally moved into two different stages of your life. You spoke about your past life and you spoke about your now life. Okay. Now, the now life part of it was very interesting. Definitely because, you talked about being close to people who belong to your country, and that's where, your heart is currently. But when you spoke about the other part of it, I would suggest that you should have mentioned where you belong to when in your childhood, right? Why do you think that that was more a city type of, probably your education part of it is what you were addressing? So you could probably talk about which part of India you were in when you were studying, and that particular place, let's say if it's Cochin or Ernakulam or whichever place, which is, you could have talked about the kind of pubs there are, discotheques and stuff like that, which is not present in, the countryside. But though the countryside is devoid of all these things, today your heart is still there because today you value relationships more than materialistic things. So add, because you're getting onto that, what do you say, emotional side of life, give more and more adjectives to your emotion so that judges start to feel and, go with you. Two things that win in table topics is humor and emotion. So anytime these are sure shot winners. Because you're working on emotion, give it more of an emphasis by saying, I studied in this part of the country, I mean, in this city, and this city is populated with this, it's always brewing with activities, whereas the countryside is more on the subtle side, and, it's more with relations where people value relationship, that drive. Yeah, just give me a second. Then we move on. So that was very well constructed. You supported both, but finally you gave your verdict. That's very important. Everyone has to give their verdict. Most of you all did. Some of you all missed out in reiterating it in the end. That's something which is very important. And did I miss out on somebody? Did you pick up some of the evaluations, Tina? Because I next have Shiva.
Yeah, I actually had this one, Sridevi and Nishchita. Okay,
so I'll finish with Shiva and then you can get into that.
Yeah.
Okay, Shiva always wants to make fun of life. Wants to bring his better half into it and give us some kind of one day let me meet your better half, Shiva, and you had it seriously. Yeah, so he said he's very clear. He said money is something that excites me and there's no doubt about it. I'm not going to go back on my words. So yes, that's nice. But the topic was what excites you in life. What was it, Amita? Did I get it right? What is that one thing which excites you in life, right?
Yeah.
Was it that?
What gets you excited about life?
Yeah, what gets you excited about life is obviously money can get you excited about life, but you could say that a lottery would be something, a sudden somebody writing off their property to me suddenly. These kind of things get you excited, give you that sudden upsurge. So instead of just saying that money gets me excited in life, you could say easy money gets me excited in life. because we're talking about excitement, and I'm pretty sure getting up in the morning, even for money, is not very exciting. So, though money, a sudden money is exciting, but money is not exciting, it is needed. Okay, so what gets you excited in life would be a sudden bachelorship, or because you're always like looking for some kind of an independence. So you could say, suddenly getting some kind of going back to relaxed bachelor life, where you just off on a trip with your bachelor friends and things like that. So look at excitement as something which is very, very interesting, rather than something which is very needed. Okay, then that adds more value to this topic. With that, I come to an end of my evaluation. I'll hand it to Tina, Seema, and Sridevi.
Thank you so much, DT Manita. I think she covered majority as to how we can actually excel in a table topics. So individually, if I were to take Toastmasters Sridevi, I think initially she had a starting trouble, but then as she, her thoughts came through, she was able to talk more. So which is why they say take that 1 second just to put your thoughts across, and like, I'm sure as you get a topic, there will be a first thought that comes to your mind, but don't blurt it out. Keep that thought and then try to build on it and then start speaking on it. So you used a chronological method, like you started by saying your school days, and then after your school days, then you talked about your office days. So I think you were basically trying to, get your thoughts process, set in place. And I think that's an excellent way to get your points across by doing that chronological way, like you first how it was in the early days, and then you went on to your college days, and so forth. But maybe like how, like Toastmaster Anita itself said, some kind of life story or some anecdote or some kind of something that happened in your life during your school days, or because of tardiness or because you were late, how it affected you, or during your office days because you were early, how it affected your life stories. Like she says, I could just reiterate what she said. It actually augments anything and fosters whatever table topic that has happened. I mean, any table topic, even if, like how Toastmaster Roshan, even though he didn't understand the topic, I just love the way he just worked on it and immediately spoke on it. I remember I went to this table topics training session, wherein the trainer said that one of the topics he got was orange is new black. Okay, so for someone who is a Netflix binger like me, I know that Orange is New Black is a series, but he didn't know. So he immediately just started out saying that orange is the new black, there's the little black dresses outside, and now we have to start wearing the orange suits. And he just started talking immediately on that particular sentence. It probably didn't make sense, at that moment, but he was able to put some kind of points to that particular topic. Okay, so like even for this early bird catches the worm, you can always go against it. You can say, so what? Maybe the early bird is a vegetarian and he doesn't want a worm. Probably he just wants an apple. An apple is there at any time. Even if he gets up late, also that apple is never going to be running away from that tree. So going against the grain is also allowed. So that's what will strike you different from probably the rest of the speakers. So you try to twist it, make it your own. The topic, make it your own. Make sure that the topic is there. Make it your own. Bring in your life stories and just speak your heart out, because this is your stage. This is your spotlight. This is your time to shine. Make use of it. And like what Toastmaster Anita said, try to make it to red, because you are getting the chance to speak. So do speak, which is what I would like to tell to Toastmaster Nishchita. I think from your first table topic the topic that you have actually added on minutes to when you were, because initially you were not able to put your point, your thought process across and all that. And this only happens through practice. So every time a table topic comes, make sure you put in, you put in your efforts and make sure that you come forward and say, yes, I will attempt it. And try to make it personal, make it your life story. Like how you were going to say about how, if you get up early in the weekends, you get more time, you get a longer weekend with your family, which is excellent. So you can also tell a story as to how, because of the, you wake up early, I went to Jebel Jais, I was able to go there and make sure that I had a picnic with my family and so forth. And you just wind up the story accordingly and then close it properly, saying that, which is why I believe that the early bird gets the worm. So as a speeches, make sure you have a good opening, make sure you have a good body, and make sure you wrap it up, close it, and then give it out to the audience, so that the last thought that the person who's listening to you will have, okay, this is the impact that they had on me. So, I mean, otherwise, I think DT Manita has covered the whole gist of it, but just be confident. Don't worry about it. Don't feel that you're going wrong anywhere. Just be, just own your topic, just own your words, make sure that you're just speaking, make sure you're flowing, make use of every opportunity that you can when it comes to impromptu speaking. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Amita.
Thank you. Thank you, DTM Anita and Toastmaster Tina, for the in-depth and constructive feedback and evaluation. Thank you once again. I had missed out calling Toastmaster Aditya to read out the timers report for this particular section. Can I please call upon Toastmaster Aditya to read the timers report?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, can I know my timings as for table topics from Deepansh?
Sure. Yeah. So your timing for table topic was 1 minute and 57 seconds.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I start reporting. Toastmaster David took 1 minute 49 seconds. Toastmaster Deepansh took 1 minute 43 seconds. Toastmaster Roshan took 1 minute 31 seconds. Toastmaster Alvin took 2 minutes 7 seconds. Toastmaster Roji took 1 minute 32 seconds. Toastmaster Utkarsha took 1 minute 28 seconds. Toastmaster Sridev took 1 minute 43 seconds. Toastmaster Nishchita took 44 seconds. Toastmaster Aditya took 1 minute 57 seconds. Toastmaster Tina took 1 minute 48 seconds. Toastmaster Shiva took 1 minute 23 seconds. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. With all this, I would like to thank each one of you, the fellow Toastmasters who had joined us from the Pioneer Speech Weavers Club. It was a pleasure having you amongst us this evening. Thank you, dear guests. I hope you had a worthwhile evening with us, and wishing and hoping you will be soon a part of our Showstoppers Club. Looking forward to have you over with us in our next meeting, which will be on the 24th of January. And I can say that we will have some novel theme on 24th. So, dear guests, we all would, yeah.
The certificates are ready.
Okay. Will you be displaying it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the best debate team goes to PSW. Congratulations. Best table topic speaker is awarded to Toastmaster Deepansh. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Siva, Toastmaster Roshan, and Toastmaster Roji. Thanks a lot and congratulations.
Feedback, quick feedback from.
Yes, I was going to call upon the guests. Is Utkarsha in here still?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we'd love to hear a few words from you.
Yes. So it was my first ever Toastmaster meeting, and I enjoyed the structure very well. And it was lovely to hear debate on cake versus ice cream. And I would love to be part of such debates in future.
Thank you. Welcome. I will post you the details of our next meeting and future meetings.
Thank you.
Alvin, can we have you? We would like to listen a few words about how you felt about this meeting.
Firstly, I found it extremely interesting. I think the topics were, the topic was nice, and it was interesting to see different aspects of the topic being discussed. But it also gets the whole thing that it gets you to think faster. I think the more you practice, you start getting better at it. I guess I'm relatively new, but I can see that with the rebuttals which was happening, it required some quick thinking because there was a topic spoken and there were rebuttals happening immediately. So someone had to think and think fast, and that takes some skill. So I'm not sure if that skill is developed or you come naturally with it, but if it's developed, I'd really like to have, get something, develop into that as well. But I found the whole thing very interesting. It was nice.
Thank you. I'll address you as Toastmaster only, Toastmaster Alvin, and you are welcome to join us. Yes, your latent skills will surely get honed here, and you will get lots of opportunity to delve into many aspects and develop your perspectives on many areas here. It is just not public speaking here. It is your leadership qualities and your planning and your coordination, everything, all the aspects get honed here. Toastmaster Roji, can we have you? And we would love to hear a few words from you as well.
Am I audible?
Yes.
It was a really fantastic experience being with Showstoppers. In fact, I was always nervous about table topics. This was just like a table topics training session to hear from DTM Anita as well as Toastmaster Tina, Satish. I know these are all dynamic Toastmasters when it comes to speaking. And it was regarding debate, definitely I got to learn from the Showstoppers members of how cool they remained. Maybe sometimes I get a little nervous inside. If it's not shown out, I'm lucky. But usually I'm nervous inside. But to see them so cool and narrating all the points, that was really a good learning lesson. And from the President Toastmaster, Amita, you are full of energy. Whenever I see you a message from you, I can feel that that vibrant mood always coming out. So please keep up the good work. Really loved all the members of SSY and also the guests who participated for making this meeting such a wonderful one. A great experience to take with me. Thank you all and good night. And a very happy new year too.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roji. Thank you so much. And same to you. Toastmaster Roshan, would you like to speak a few words? Maybe just 1 minute?
Thank you. Thank you, Showstoppers. Thank you, Madam President, and for the opportunity. We learned a lot from both the sessions, table topics as well as debating, because of your evaluation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. So with this, I think I can declare the meeting number 54 close. Thanks a lot, each one of you. You made this evening so lovable and delectable, I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.